just something that I thought would be an interesting Tisha topic. I think it's something that we all kind of juggle with and deal with, and we look to try to figure out how to cope with it. And basically what it is how to deal with the unexpected, like the things that are unplanned. Now, I don't know about the rest of you, but I can say for myself, I'm very much, like, by nature, I'm very much a planner. I like to know what's going to happen. I like to prepare so that I can have the best outcome. Like, I don't want to do stuff and figure out, oh, you should have done this. And had I taken some time to just kind of plan it, I would have had that thing checked off on my list. So I'm very much that person by nature. What I can say is that over the years, as I have gotten older, I have grown in that area. I have grown, and I understand that there is a need to be flexible. There's a need to be flexible, right? So what I have learned, and when I think about, how do you prepare for the unplanned? How do you deal with it? Like, what is the mindset that you have? What are the things that you think about to help you get through it? And so for a person like me, who's very much about organization and about planning and about knowing what's going to take place, when it's going to take place, how things are going to happen, so you can just get stuff accomplished, there's a process that I go through. And I've learned to go through it, and I'm still learning to go through it. I'm still a work in progress, because, things being unexpected is just that. Things that you don't know are going to happen. And so, sometimes it depends upon the type of day you had or where you are mentally and what you're dealing with in addition to that unexpected stuff. And everything doesn't always go according to plan, and that happens too for people. So basically, let me give you the 3 points, the 3 tips that I have for how to deal with the unexpected. So the first thing that I had to realize is that I'm so not in control. Okay? That I'm not in control. Unexpected things and unplanned things are going to happen because Letitia's not running this show. I have to make sure that I'm checking in with God first. I'm checking in with Him before I start making major decisions, before I start making major choices, before I start investing major time in things. I have come to realize that it does me good to check with Him, because some of these things that are unplanned or unexpected are things that we've caused on our own. And we just, we had not consulted the Father for advice or for direction. And sometimes we put things on ourselves, right? So once you've done that, I think that is the first thing that I do. And I remind myself, girl, you're not in control. You are not in control. Don't expect that everything's going to work out the way that you think it's going to work out. Don't expect that there is not going to be some adjustments that need to be made. Don't expect that, because you're ultimately not in control. We don't even control whether we're going to be on this earth tomorrow. That's not in our control, right? So that's the first thing that I had to come to realize. The second thing is that I have to be flexible. And I know I talked about that earlier. Flexibility is so important. And not just flexible in situations. When unplanned situations happen, you do need to be flexible. You do need to be able or prepared to adjust. But you also have to be flexible and prepared to adjust when dealing with people, just in general. It's not just unplanned circumstances, it's in general, dealing with folk, right? You have to be flexible. So that was something I had to learn, because I used to be kind of like, all right, this is the plan, this is what we're doing, why are you diverting? Like, it's written down. Why are you diverting from the plan that I worked on? But the plans involve other people majority of the time. We're not walking around this earth by ourselves. Other people are walking with us. Other things are contingent on what other people do, just by nature, right? We cannot help that. We cannot help that. We need people. We need people. We need each other, right? So I had to become okay. I had to become okay with being flexible and with adjusting to the different circumstances and the different scenarios that I may find myself in. So that was super important. And that's a growth process. That doesn't happen overnight. I think the biggest thing about that is being open to it, being open to that adjustment. And that stretches us and that grows us. Now, the third thing that I think is that I go through, in my head when something unexpected happens is, maybe it was a deadline, right? Maybe it was a timeline. Maybe I had to pay a bill. Maybe I remember a time where financially we were not in the best place, and it wasn't because we were being frivolous. It wasn't because we had not invested our time wisely. It wasn't because we hadn't prayed about the decisions and the choices that we made. It was just we lost income, and it was no fault of our own, right? And so, but I'm praying, or I'm waiting for God to direct me. Meanwhile, the bill is due, right? And I'm not hearing nothing. So, what I've come to realize that during those times is that not everything that is unplanned, not everything that is unexpected, in our perspective, is unplanned or unexpected in God's plan. And that some of these things that we experience are to stretch us and are to take us to another level and another place. That there is, that the process pulls us and increases something within us that is going to help us in this journey called life, and the things that we have, the future things that we're going to encounter. And so I've come to realize those three things when dealing with unexpected and unplanned circumstances. Number one, I'm not in control. I'm not in control. So that leaves me with an expectation that, anything can happen. Anything can happen. This thing can turn any kind of way. So I just need to make sure that I am spending time in prayer and meditation, and I'm seeking wise counsel before I start making certain decisions and certain choices. The second thing is I got to be flexible. I got to be willing to adjust. And flexibility is not just about, because when the circumstance happen, you don't have no choice. Like if you don't have no money, you have adjusted. You have adjusted. So I would say the flexibility and the adjustment tends to be more so when dealing with people, and being open-minded, having an open mind, being willing to bend or do something that you had not anticipated that you would have to do, right? And then the third thing is making sure that you are, aware that the circumstance and the situation that you're in may not be an accident. It may not be something, it may just be unexpected to you, and it may be unplanned to you, but it may be a part of your greater purpose and your greater destiny. And the lesson that you're going to learn, the process that you're going to go through to learn that lesson could be directly tied to your future and to what it is that you're called to do. Had I not experienced those times when we were lacking financially, I would not have grown. I would not have developed my faith. I would not have been willing to step out and do stuff that may not always financially be feasible for me. But because I went through those other situations, I realized, Charlie, works out. It's going to work out in the end. And so God got you, And so I've come to understand those three things. Number one, I'm not in control. Number two, I have to be flexible and willing to adjust. I have to be open-minded. And number three, everything that's unexpected doesn't mean that it shouldn't have happened. It may be a part of my process, and it may be a part of my journey. And so guys, I hope that this is helpful. It was on my mind. Just sitting up here thinking as I process things. Unexpected things happen all the time. And like I said earlier, I'm still a work in process. I'm still growing, and I'm working on those things. But I wanted to share what I've learned along the way. All right, guys. So as always, when passion meets purpose, great things happen, and I so look forward to hearing how many great things have happened because you guys have decided to link your passion with your purpose. Talk to you later.